Hello, this is Myra Elaine on the Vine Space Channel. Today would normally be Passion Sunday. It's the fifth Sunday of Lent, but that's kind of gone by the wayside. Now, next Sunday is the Sunday before Easter Sunday or Resurrection Day, and so that is still Palm Sunday, and it used to be called Passion Sunday, but we have 6 weeks. So the fifth Sunday into Lent is Passion Sunday. The usage of the term Passion Sunday has kind of gone by the wayside, as so has the Gesimo Sundays that are the 50th, 60th, and 70th days before Resurrection Day. So a lot of the liturgy is changing and evolving. And the liturgy is kind of our made up way to go through the calendar through the year in Christianity. It was first used by the Catholic Church. I'm not sure if the Orthodox use it or not. I'm sure they do, but maybe in a different way. Maybe they still have Passion Sunday. Maybe some congregations do, some congregations don't. But just an FYI, this used to be referred to as Passion Sunday. Now, Passion Sunday is an intense day of study to talk about and prepare ourselves for the crucifixion and what was before the crucifixion, the torture, the arrest, the betrayal, and then to prepare us for the glory of Resurrection Day. Now, Jesus performed more than several resurrections during his ministry. So today, I'm going to read John chapter 11. Now, a certain man was sick named Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary anointed the Lord with ointment and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore his sister sent unto him, saying, Lord, behold, he who thou lovest is sick. So Jesus loved this family, and they loved him. When Jesus heard that, he said, This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might he be glorified thereby. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus, and he had heard therefore that he was sick. He abode 2 days still in the same place where he was. Then after that saith unto his disciples, Let us go unto Judea again. His disciples say unto him, Master, the Jews of late sought to stone thee, and goest thou thither again? And Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours in the day? If any man walk in the day. See how they think about the days if they're Jews? Sun up to sunrise. And then sunrise to sunset is the day. Stumbleth not, because he seeth the light of this world. But if a man walk in the night, he stumbleth, because there is no light to him. These things he said, and after he saith unto them, Our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go that I may wake him out of sleep. Then said his disciples, Lord, if he sleep, he shall do well. Howbeit Jesus spake of his death, howbeit, but they thought he had spoken of taking rest in sleep. So Jesus is using foreshadowing here. Then Jesus saith unto them plainly, Lazarus is dead. And I'm glad for your sakes that I was not there, to the intent he may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. Then said Thomas, this is doubting Thomas, which is called Demetrius, to his fellow disciples, let us also go that we may die with him. Then Jesus came, and he found that he had lain unto the grave 4 days already. Now Bethany was nigh unto Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off. And many of the Jews came to Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, was soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went out and met him. But Mary sat still in the house. Then said Martha unto Jesus, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. Wow, she's blaming Jesus for his death. But I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of God, God will give thee. So she has faith. Even though she's saying, you should have been here, she's also saying that she knows God can do anything. Jesus saith unto her, Thy brother will rise again. Martha saith unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. So she's thinking at the second coming or at the rapture, he's going to rise again. So that's where her faith is. Jesus saith unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? She said unto him, Yes, Lord, I believe that thou art the Christ, the Son of God, which should come into the world. And she had also said, she went her way and called Mary her sister secretly, saying, The Master is come and calleth for thee. As soon as she heard that, she rose quickly and came unto him. Now Jesus was not yet come unto the town, but was in that place where Martha met him. The Jews then which were with her in the house and comforted her, then when they saw Mary, that she rose up hastily and went out, followed her, saying, She goeth unto the grave to weep there. So she had an entourage with her. Then when Mary was come where Jesus was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying unto him, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. Then Jesus therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping, which came with her. He groaned in the spirit and was troubled, and said, Where have ye laid him? And they said unto him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. Jesus cried over the death of his friend. It's the shortest verse in the Bible. John chapter 11, verse 35. Jesus was human as much as he was God. the flesh was made into God with Jesus Christ, and Jesus is God. Then said the Jews, behold, how he loved him. And some of them said, could not this man which opened the eyes of the blind have caused that even this man should not have died? Jesus therefore again, groaning in himself, cometh to the grave. It was a cave, and a stone lay upon it. And Jesus said, take ye away the stone. Martha, the sister of him that was dead, saith unto the Lord, by this time he stinketh, for he hath been dead 4 days. Jesus said unto her, said I not unto thee, that if thou wouldest believe, thou shouldest see the glory of God? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid, and Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me, and I know that thou hearest me always, but because of the people which I stand by, I said it, and they may believe that thou hast sent me. And when he thus spoketh, and cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hands and foot with grave cloths, and his face was bound about with a napkin. Jesus said unto them, loose him and let him go. And then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Jesus did believed on him. But some of them went their way to the Pharisees and told them what things Jesus had done. No good deed goes unpunished. They're scurrying off to the religious leaders, the hypocrites, that want to destroy Jesus after he saved their friend's brother or their friend. Then gathered up the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we do? For this man doeth many miracles. So the resurrection of Lazarus caused Jesus to be his betrayal, his death, his crucifixion to be accelerated. Because this was intolerable to the Pharisees that Jesus was showing them up. Jesus wasn't competing with the Pharisees. He was just being God. He was just doing what he was sent to do. If ye let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, I know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. And thus spoke he not of himself, but being the high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for that nation. And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. Then from that day forth they took counsel together for to put him to death. Jesus therefore walked no more openly among the Jews, but went thence to the country near the wilderness unto the city called Ephraim, and there continued with his disciples. And the Jews' Passover was nigh at hand, and many went out of the country up to Jerusalem before the Passover to purify themselves. Then sought they for Jesus, and spake among themselves as they stood in the temple, What think ye, that he will not come to the feast? But now both of the chief priests and the Pharisees had given a commandment that if any man knew where he were, he should show it, and they might take him. So every single solitary year of Jesus' life, once Jesus, Mary, and Joseph had returned from Egypt, Jesus went to all the feasts and festivals in Jerusalem. All of them. And as time went on, even when he was a child of 10 or 12 years old, he was talking to the priests in the temple, and they had become increasingly agitated with his growing popularity and his growing talents that they saw that showed them up. But now, after the resurrection of Lazarus, they had decided they were going to kill him. So they were in the Passover feast, people journeying there, saying, Will Jesus not come to Passover? Knowing that if he shows up, that he's going to get arrested. Knowing all the miracles he's done and why they're against him. They had to know in their hearts that he was a Messiah. I will continue this on Palm Sunday. But Jesus had the power of the resurrection all along. And why his disciples didn't get that memo. When he was dying on the cross, didn't they think about that he might resurrect himself? That the Father might resurrect Jesus? How did they not know? I guess hindsight is easy, and we should give the disciples a break, but still, you got to ask yourself about it. Anyway, I hope you all are getting prepared for Resurrection Day and the celebration that comes after all of this suffering. But we will be talking about the suffering, and this is an adult Bible study. So keep that in mind. If you have little ones around, they should maybe not hear the worst of the things that happened to Jesus during Holy Week. We need to simplify things for children. Yes, we do have to say that he died on the cross, but we don't necessarily have to talk about the torture. And I will be talking about the mocking and the torture during Holy Week. So just keep that in mind. And you all have a wonderful and blessed day.